All right, everybody. So here is this week's watch list. Man, we got a big week this week. I know I said that last week. It was non-farm payroll. We had some crazy action come out on Thursday, but Friday, non-farm payroll day itself wasn't that eventful, right? It had a lot of violent movements to the up and down side, but would stay within a range. And unfortunately, here is yet another week that we're stuck in a range. Like we're still right in the middle of that range. And I don't know, man. Something big has to be coming out of this market, right? Something big has to come out of this. We won't consolidate forever. I want everybody to remain encouraged rather, as we navigate this type of price action. But it won't last forever. And usually after something like this comes something really violent in some direction. So quickly, I didn't even plan on pulling this up for a second, but I just want to show y'all, for example, right? I remember when Bitcoin looked like this. Remember when Bitcoin looked like this? It was consolidating for mad long. So, oh, that's the weekly chart. Let me go to the daily. But that was the weekly for real. Let's just look at the daily for a second. So Bitcoin was consolidating like crazy in this time period. I think it was just didn't really go anywhere, honestly. And then you've seen what happened after. Look at this run up. All of this consolidated again and then ran again. And so just know, people, just know something big will come out of this. You just gotta survive. Literally just gotta survive. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and look at what to expect in this upcoming week. So tomorrow, which is Monday, nothing really, right? Nothing really. So I want you to be careful trading tomorrow. There's no news driver to kind of give price some energy. We got CPI on Wednesday is the draw this week. That's the major market mover this week. So I would say Monday and Tuesday, I want you to be careful out there. Wednesday is kind of when you're gonna want to start looking to get involved in the market. Wednesday into Thursday, we got PPI. So I believe the second half of this week will be energetic. Friday's consumer sentiment, not a bad event. So definitely looking forward to the news events Wednesday through Friday. That should give price the energy it needs to get to our destination. So where do we see price going? I mean, let's kind of talk about DXY. So a major focus for us last week was watching DXY's movements. We've been calling DXY from the bottom to the top, and then we got to our target, which was running over these highs to the left. Beautiful delivery there. Honestly, everything held, and now, hold up, I feel like that's the wrong DXY chart. Let me pull up the one I usually chart on. I think that's the wrong one. I feel like I'm missing certain labels. Yeah, there we go. Right. So this is DXY I was showing on, my fault. And so, we had beautiful delivery. Everything was holding, got to our target, and then we came down hard. So now your eyes are peeling and say, hey, hold on. This might be a sweep, right? They swept buy side, meaning they ran over all the stop losses that existed above these highs, ran them out, and came back to the downside. Now, we still have some lines of defense. If you're a bull, a line of defense for the bulls is to say, will we get a candle closure over this green wick? Under. Will we get a candle closure under this green wick? This green wick is very important for us in determining direction. So heading into this wick, I was vocal in the chat saying, yo, we're watching what happens to this wick. I say if we close under this wick, it could get pretty bad to the downside. It's funny. I got to bring up Bitcoin again for this. Yo, this is hilarious. I just realized Bitcoin is honestly showing us a lot about price runs. Bitcoin shows us a lot about price runs. I don't know if it's on my Instagram, but I was talking about this wick right here. So let's highlight it. This wick, I said at this time period, I said if Bitcoin can close over this wick, it's going to rocket. This is a very important wick right here. It's consolidated, and then look what happened when Bitcoin actually closed over the wick. The minute we got a closure, look what happened. Ran and ain't been back since. So this is kind of the same situation to me on DXY here. This wick's very important. I want to see us close under it if we're bearish, but you've seen we just wicked under it, so we might be sweeping these lows to push back up. We're keeping an eye on that. So far, futures here opened up 58 minutes ago, and it's already pushing up to the upside. But our eyes are definitely open in this area. Are we going to sweep this and start making an even higher push? I want to see that. If not, and we reject this red inefficiency right here, we can reject this area. Of course, we can come back to the downside. And if DXY is going bearish, then you will expect to see some energy to the upside on NASDAQ as well as the S&P 500, which ultimately drives all the other stocks that we trade, especially my options traders. It'll drive movement there. So that's that. Now coming into here on ES. My fault. Was pressed on. Coming into here on ES. So man, like I said, we've really been kind of stuck in a really tough area. Things that are typically bullish and not really holding too well. Things that are typically bearish and not holding too well. Why? Because we're in a range, and we've been taught to be very careful in ranges and not take. I think it's a bad time to be taking swing trades. Personally, you kind of want price to show its hand first before taking swings. Now we can speculate on, oh, I think it's gonna end up breaking to the downside or break to the upside. Like I say, it's a lot of reasons to go down. And in the free community, I have posted my projections on downside targets. Those projections are still very much in play. It's just about how we get there. Um, doesn't mean that I'm just strictly bearish. There is a valid bull case. There is a valid bear case. Yeah, it's listen, if you're talking about liquidity, for example, right? There's a lot of liquidity to the downside we can go ahead and get, like a lot. It looks really good to the downside, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Really, really good to the downside. And I'm hoping we go get that because I'm telling you right now, if we do break to the downside, it's gonna be a very aggressive run to the downside. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be a very aggressive run to the downside. But if we break to the upside, which it definitely could, then we live with it. And what's the bull case there? If price is really strong, let's look at Bitcoin's example once again. If price is really strong, you don't get too much of a pullback. You get just strong rallies, consolidation. This literally, I showed this to y'all before, but this literally looks like NASDAQ right now. We moving up, but we grinding. It's a grinded move up. And then we went sideways. What happened after that sideways movement? Did we come down? Everybody expects, oh, we rallied. Now we going sideways, so that means we must go down. It does not mean that. We don't always have to reverse after consolidation. So you got to kill that notion. You got to be waiting for something that'll never come. We did not reverse after Bitcoin consolidated. Look what happened. It ran up again. Then we went sideways. A little bit of a pullback, but now it ran again. Bitcoin is not different than any other chart. Charts are charts, my people. Charts are charts. They're going to do what they do. So, with that in mind, kind of looking at ES, this looks like what I was just showing you on Bitcoin is really choppy move up. After this, we could just keep going up. So we got to keep our eyes open because that's a bull case and it's a very rare a very real bull case. All right. And we already know the bear case, of course, we could just come and take out all the sell side liquidity. That'd be nice to the downside. So as far as this week, I wish this was one of those watches I could come out and say, yo, we definitely doing this because we have a lot of those. This time period has been very tough, and I'm not gonna make a blanket conviction on, yo, we going up or down. We just made plans for both. So kind of looking at this, let's go to NASDAQ first before I say anything. So kind of looking at this, let me delete these. That's not really relevant right here. That made me money on Friday, and maybe I'll show that play in a second. But yeah, I think NASDAQ will be bullish in the short term. I'm bullish on NASDAQ in the short term to kind of take out these highs. I've been vocal about these highs as well since like last week, saying I don't like us leaving these clean highs in the market. Like I really like before we make a big move down, I feel like if we're gonna make a move down, which we very well could, I feel like it would want to make a move higher first to take this out before ever even coming back to the downside. Or it could just keep rocketing to the upside, like I said, and make the next leg up. So I am biased to the upside right now. I think the only thing that would change my mind literally is if we go ahead and take out these lows, because then obviously my trade idea is dead. But I do feel we run over these highs before we take out these lows. That's what I feel. I don't feel like we're gonna reject inside of this fair value gap. I think if we would have rejected, we would have rejected already. That's the plan I had for y'all coming into NFP. So the bull and bear case we planned on NFP. If you remember, I said, yo, we was talking here on Thursday after the market closed, right? This is what we was talking. And I was like, yo, listen, y'all, when price open up, we need to reject pretty much right away. We need, because after that, if we start pushing high into this inefficiency, it's looking really low probability that we're gonna end up breaking back to the downside. And then you see price kept pushing. I said, yo, we don't reject at the very beginning of this inefficiency. we're gonna end up making a move higher. And so, yeah, you see what happened. We made a move higher. We had a quick little pullback here at 1 o'clock, but then price ended up pushing back up. And so that's where we are in the market. And we'll see what happens next. But once again, my bias is to the upside at first. But being that there's nothing, it's not like a strong conviction, keep your eye open on downside. Just keep your eye open on both. And to be honest, once again, be careful trading this range. It's nothing that I will come out here and tell you to risk your whole account on. You can see what's going on. It's nothing to talk about too much. Now, this trade here is the one that I ended up taking. This trade. All right, so I had got in around here, something like that. I mean, I put the screenshot in the chat, but it was really taken after this higher low was made, taking it back to these highs. So this was good, and I actually caught a good chunk of this downside, not the very top. I caught a good chunk of this downside here, and then I was done. Thank God I was done. And guess why I was done, people? So you see this fair value gap that price tapped into and made a high off of, right? Right. This fair value gap is something that will be hard for price to get back under. Okay, it will be very hard for price to get back under, especially with the type of wick that rejected it. So this wick here is where I took my profits. Once price came back into this wick, I was out of my play because I had a feeling, I'm like, yo, we already made a pretty violent move today to the upside. Then we had a decent drop off. After this, we could just range, because I don't think we're going to end up making like another higher high before the day closes. And it's Friday, man. This is Friday afternoon at this point. So I'm like, I feel like we're going to range. I literally was done at that point, and then I started writing in the chat again or whatever. But thank God we started ranging, and here we are. We still still in that little area. But once again, bias to the upside and these short term. Let's look at YM. YM right quick. Hey, I guess they gapped up today. Dang, they gapped up. That's interesting. Wow. YM gapped up, y'all. I didn't even peep that. All right. So now looking at YM by 4, y'all. YM is the Dow Jones. YM is the Dow Jones. So I don't like us sweeping this low right here. Talking about for bears, right? If you're a bearish person, I don't like this. This ain't it. This ain't it. When you see this, that typically means most likely we're gonna come back at least into this wick on the daily. So I expect a higher move on YM, just at least come into this wick on the daily. If we get a closure over this wick, then I believe we're gonna run over these highs. This wick price could reject inside of here, so keep your eyes on this. But if we don't reject inside of here, I believe the next destination will be running over these highs. But in the short term, I do think they'll come into this wick area. Just looking at the daily chart, that's what I feel. A bear case is us rejecting really just about where we might have made the high already. But based on the way that price is kind of forming, if it comes down at first, I would want to see this 4-hour bullish fair value gap hold. If this does not hold, then I believe that's when I would change sentiment. So we probably bearish for real. So if we're gonna make this move into this wick area, right? If we're gonna make the move into this wick area on the Dow Jones, this fair value gap should hold. If it doesn't hold, then we'll probably be running out these lows. So we're either gonna just skyrocket right now, or you'll see something like this. All right, now, so that's the bullish scenario. The bearish scenario is simply, obviously, if we lose this, then I would target these lows. So if we lose this, mind you, this is the 4-hour time frame, right? We lost it, right? Okay, bet. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come to a lower time frame and look for an entry strategy that I like. So if I'm targeting these lows, and on a once we lose this purple, and I'm looking for price to it'll be all the way down here. Look, you got this whole move to get. This is a nice move. So when we lose this, all you gotta do is find something you like. If you find like a bearish order block, price retraces into a bearish order block, a bearish fair value gap, whatever y'all use, or you see a double top form here or something, whatever you use, you could take that, and this will most likely be your next destination. Once again, that's if we lose this purple area. We could obviously use it and go to the upside. So what would you do in that case? Well, if we come into this area and you start seeing bullish things you like start to form, bullish fair value gaps come out of it, bullish order blocks, double bottoms, inverse head and shoulders, whatever you look for. There's different trader styles in here. Whatever you look for, that's where you will look to take it into these wick areas, this wick area. So that's how we're gonna play that. I think a lot depends on this purple area. We either gonna blast off right now or we gonna end up using it. So that's that on the Dow Jones. Let's look at the Russell. So this is the Russell right here. We talked about price using this inefficiency to go lower, which it did, okay. And now we want to see, where do we go from here, right? Where do we go from here? We just consolidating. After that initial rejection, we just been consolidating, which I don't like. But to be real, like, if this fair value gap right here is gonna hold price, then yeah, we probably see a move back higher after this. So, but there's no strong conviction here on the Russell. Let me see the 4 hour, give me a little indication. I mean, the 4 hour honestly gives me vibes that it wants to push to the upside right now. Yeah. But it's nothing to die for, right? It's nothing to die for. It's nothing to die for. The Russell is not interested in me right now. I wouldn't even trade this personally. I'm just saying this for people who do trade the Russell. I try to give direction for just in case people trade these things. So if you do trade the Russell, whether with options or futures, it doesn't matter. They got to move the exact same, right? We talked about that. They move the same options and futures. So on options, this would be IWM for y'all. This would be IWM if you trade options. And so based on where price is at, and we're in between a bearish tool and a bullish tool on the bottom, we're in between green and purple. You got to kind of see which one went out. I mean, if green went out, you could target these lows. If purple went out, you can target these highs. Let's keep it very simple. So we're going to let price talk to us this week. Remember, CPI is on Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday may be uneventful. Monday and Tuesday might keep us still in the same range, indecisive. And then CPI on Wednesday will help us pick that direction. So about those. Okay, I want to take some ticket requests actually from here. Does anybody have any tickets that y'all want me to go through? And while I wait for those tickets, it's like, I just want you guys to really, once again, just, if you really take a look at the market right now, look at this daily, man. Like, just, I don't want y'all out here losing your account. We say live to trade the trend. Live to trade the trend. So thank y'all for the suggestions. I'm gonna start looking at some of these. So let's look at these live here. We got CRM is our first candidate. So we got CRM. Not a pretty chart either, man. Not a pretty chart either. Still holding this inefficiency here to push higher potentially. We come to these lows, sleep these lows. Yeah, I feel like I would target higher right now, the way it's sitting. I would target higher in the position that it's currently sitting at. I do feel like if it was bearish, it wouldn't have traded over not only this inefficiency, but this one as well. So I would target higher and expect price to come into this wick. So my bad, I was trying to draw on this wick right here. Okay, so that's why I see CRM in the short term. For a price to get there, it should hold above, 298 and change. Just looking at these inefficiencies here, specifically the top one though, this should hold price to go higher. This hourly bullish fit right gap should hold price to go higher, at least to take out these highs. Once you take out these highs, I think we start making just a stronger move into this wick up top. All right, now I would lose faith in this play more if these don't hold. Now, how do you recognize chop? So what I just showed you right now was a very probable scenario if we are indeed bullish, right? Now, what I noticed here too is, look at this. If we were indeed bearish, guess what would happen? We would have rejected this fair value gap right here to the left and came on down if we were bearish. So let's just keep in mind, the bears right now said, oh shoot, I'm invalidated. So the bears just got invalidated right now with this green candle that's coming up here. All right, so bears got invalidated. And what I just provided just now was, okay, so we're probably bullish. So I gave the most probable bullish scenario for CRM to make a move higher. if you don't see the bullish scenario work out for you and price ends up coming under these, I would like you to be careful about being caught up in a range, because you might see this type of action happen after that. Because when price is actually on a mission, guess what happens? These bullish scenarios, they play out. These bearish scenarios, they play out. Because when price has an objective, it's going to deliver in the way that it's supposed to. So if you know how to really read a chart, you'll say, all right, this bearish scenario didn't play out. Cool, maybe I was wrong. Bet. I know how to trade bullish delivery though. And so you go and attempt your bullish delivery and that don't play out either, then you got to really take a step back and say, hold on, we probably in chop. We probably in a range, and I need to really be careful on taking trades, especially off of this hourly and all that type of stuff. All right. So yeah, that's that. Thank you for saying CL, Miss Monique. I'm about to go there right now. I actually meant to go over CL. I definitely forgot to do that one. All right, so let's go to CL right here. Oh, nice bearish start to the day on CL. Wow, they got a nice little bearish start today. I like this. Yo, man, price always has an objective, y'all. Do it not. What we said on Thursday. I said, yo, I think price will push into this daily VI right here. Right? Price will push into this as a next destination. Like, price always has an objective, man. Look what happened as soon as we got there. That's not crazy. Once price got there, it was took off, and now we freaking dumping right now. So does that mean I'm ultra bearish on this? I wouldn't necessarily say so. I do think if CL is gonna bounce, it needs to bounce right now in here. If we lose this inefficiency, then I mean it's not much of a target, but I would want to see if price could react right here around 85 and change. Right around 85 and change. And what I'm doing is I'm really looking at you could just look at, honestly, let's go right here. So I would say between 85.47 and like 85.16. If price don't bounce there, then I would definitely target move lower under these lows. So if we don't, there's two places I'm looking for bounces. Literally right the heck now, I would be looking for a bounce right now. So I would be looking for some confirmation to the upside, something that I like. And you can really let price prove itself. Start seeing, based on me looking at the hourly time frame, you can start looking for like 5-minute bullish fair value gaps to the upside, and then look to get involved on one of those. Cool. That's one thing I would look for on CL. Now, if that doesn't present itself, guess what? That means because that's not where price wants to bounce at. That means price didn't want to bounce in this area. So if price don't want to bounce in this area, then I would start looking at this order block, because I actually kind of like this order block. If we're bullish, y'all, this order block will work. Really that simple. If we are bullish, this order block will work. To be honest, y'all, it will bounce, and the upper portion is, it will bounce really between like 85.60 something and 85.50 something. That's probably where you will see that bounce come at. And if it doesn't, then most likely we're gonna end up a move back to the downside on CL. And I'm not saying like ultra bearish, but just this daily chart will see more of a retracement, maybe coming into this inefficiency right here on the daily. To highlight it, I'm talking about this blue one. We may come into this one before moving higher again, something like that. So our eyes are definitely on, I guess that's this wick. That's this daily wick right here, ain't it? What I was initially highlighting, that's 85 something. Yep. Coming into this daily wick area, we will watch this and see what it could do. But you got to trade the uptrend until you can't trade it no more. I think that price, once again, I personally think price will end up bouncing in the areas that I was talking about. And I think you would take CL back up through these highs and past these highs into this red area. So I think this red area starts around like 89. So I think CL will make a nice move bouncing out of this area, personally. So yeah. So gold was next. Let's look at gold. Let's look at gold. Okay. If gold is bullish, it will bounce right now. If not, then I would target these lows for real. This is where gold, I would like to look for gold bounces up here right now. If not, then we targeting these lows here at 2290. Yeah, that's how I view this. See the daily. Yep. Yeah, that's how like gold. I think gold to me is like there's not really much else to say. So literally right now is where I want to see bounces at. So are we getting our first sign of it? We'll see. Right now, I would like to see this 5-minute bullish trade value gap work back to the upside. If this don't work, then I'll start saying, we probably gonna end up running out these lows and run out these lows, and then we may make a deeper retracement, get into the area where I said it would go, which is where it's at, down here at 2290. Okay, so all eyes on gold inside of really the inefficiency we're in right now, as well as just this overall top area. My fault, I shouldn't say top area. I mean like bottom area of this bullish fair value gap. We gotta see this. So yeah. So let's go. Let's look at coin. Coin was next. We got here on coin, man. I look at coin in a little minute. So I remember when I was looking at it, we did use this inefficiency to push higher. Cool. Now we coming on down. Not the cleanest PA, man. Not the cleanest PA on coin. Yeah, I don't really want to give any strong conviction on something that I don't see a setup on. So I don't like delivery to the upside nor downside, which is really typically what you see in a non-favorable ticker. I don't like anything I've seen on coin. So I might not say much to this. I'll say that what I want to see coin do for me to get involved. So for me to get involved on coin, I want to see if we can make a move back above these highs. So these highs at 262, if we could come back above these highs, then most likely we'll end up running these highs at 283. So if we can make a move back above here, then I would like it back to the upside. If we make a move, hold on, let me see something on the daily. Yeah. If we come back to like 231, then I would see a move. I would see a move lower to filling out this gap into 206. So if we can lose like 230, what I say, 231? Yeah, just about 230. If we lose like 230, then I would see us filling out this gap and bringing us back to like 206. So, but anything outside of that, breaking over these highs or coming below the wick of March 20th, right? The wick of March 20th. If we come below the wick of March 20th, then I would see us filling out this little gap. This little gap right here. All right, so that's coin, COF. I'm gonna do just a few more for real. What is COF? Capital One. Have I ever showed it on here? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I ever touched this one. Capital One. All right, so let's talk thought process for real. Let's go through this together. Y'all. All right, so first of all, when I'm looking to see direction and everything, I'm coming to the monthly. Start with the highest time frame and ask yourself, what is the monthly most likely going up for? Right? What is the monthly chart targeting? And to me, I would think the monthly target will be coming. Let's play it safe and say at least to this highest body right there. And then you ask yourself, you say, yo, how could it get there though? Right? How could it get there? What could it use to propel it up? So I feel like there's a potential that this candle that's currently red will turn green and get us to this highest body on the monthly at 153. There's a potential that can happen. But let's look at the weekly and see if there's anything that can kind of support that. So when prices aggressively move into the upside like this, so you have a really aggressive move to the upside, then typically you don't see deep retracements. So you may be looking for, hey man, let's say anything, right? Let's say there's like a order block right here. I'm gonna hypothetically say there's an order block right there. If your target is a yellow line, I wouldn't be waiting on something like this to take you back there, right? So that's why it's always good to identify the target first. You ask yourself, what is price trading for first? Because then it lets you know what points of interest to pay attention to. So being that price is what we call spooling, which is pretty much aggressively moving in one direction, I'm only looking for the most recent tools to target to take a play on. So here on this weekly, for me, that is simply this red candle. I want price to hold this red candle and take us to this yellow line. So as long as price is holding this red candle, which is what I would call a continuation OB, then I would want to take this to the yellow area. So that's the weekly telling me to target higher. The daily, let's see if it coincides with that. The daily, let's see if it coincides with that. So if we was bearish, I would hate this start to a bearish move. That's why I also don't believe we're actually bearish. This is a terrible looking start to a bearish move. I don't believe we're actually bearish on Capital One. So what could hold here? Well, once again, we want to see maybe price could tap into this purple before moving higher, or it could just move higher from where it's at. I don't necessarily like, we got a VI right here that could be giving price a bounce, but I don't really like any points of interest on this time frame. So let's check the 4-hour and see if there's something. So right now, to me on the 4-hour, what I feel like we just did was sweep these lows. So if you look at it like this, we came down, we made a low, we made a high, and then what we do, we took this low, right? When we took this low, did we aggressively take it? Nah, right? We took this low and we starting to push back up. So what I would say is, first of all, I do think we're gonna just start pushing higher immediately. But you can look to see if we sweep these highs to come on down, or if we actually take off past these highs with energy. So let's identify these highs on a lower time frame. Let me draw this. Let's identify these highs right here on a lower time frame and see what that looks like. So first of all, we got these hourly highs. We're gonna see if we can get a closure over these hourly highs. Now let's look at it from the 15 perspective. All right, so yeah, see how I'm looking at it. I want to see what we do over these. Are we going to sweep these highs, or are we going to blast past these highs? That is the question. And if we blast past these highs, then I would definitely start looking towards those higher targets we was talking about. So for me on Capital One, I'll know the play is ready if I'm seeing all the bullish signatures that I like to see over these highs. All right, what bullish signatures do I want to see over these highs? That'll tell me that Capital One is ready to move to the upside. But if you see something like this, where we kind of come above, lacking energy, it's kind of nasty, and then you see price come down, especially coming down with, if you're starting to see bearish fair value gaps developing, then all right, Capital One will probably make this move down, maybe into the purple. All right, so a lot comes from what we do on the immediate term on Capital One. If I'm seeing energy over these highs, then I'll be taking it into, you know, really back into these highs and probably even higher. Yeah, facts. So it all depends on what we do over this yellow line. And look, you're looking at that when from the, where from the lower time frames. Looking at that from the lower time. Now Prince requested M and Q. I already did M and Q, and I will post a recording ASAP, so I got you. But I did M and Q. Let's go to NVIDIA real quick. Probably dirt. Now with NVIDIA right there, everything been nasty, right? Look at this, y'all. This is just so annoying. It's so frustrating doing these watches because I love my watches before it would be lit. We got some really easy, clear setups all over the market, but we're stuck in a market like this, y'all, and we can only take what we get. So it's just like, man, they're not giving us much to work with here, but we gonna make it shake though. We gonna make it shake. We gotta adjust. So here we are. Well, I'm supposed to say this on this daily chart, y'all. What I'm supposed to say this daily chart, man. We had an inside day candle on Friday and all that, yo. All that. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, so we got this video. Nasty work. I do have a bullish bias on it though. The way I'm seeing it right now, I do have a bullish bias on it though. I'm just trying to see what I would want to hold to maintain that bullish bias. I would say here on this 15 minute, you don't want to see a closure below this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. You see, we got an initial bounce, and then we had something called time distortion, where you're holding an inefficiency, but you're pretty much just staying still. So you're holding the place you want to hold, but it didn't go nowhere. Why? Because they're trying to keep price in a range. As you see, this consolidation happened Friday afternoon. So, you know, they kept price in a range on Friday afternoon, and then they closed the market. So but we did hold this inefficiency. So I do want to see this continue to hold in order for us to make a move higher. And I do have a bullish bias on NVIDIA, but that bullish bias is largely dependent on us holding this purple area. So you will come to the 15-minute and you will draw out that bullish fair value gap from 10:45 a.m. on Friday, April 5th. If we holding this still, I'm Gucci. I believe NVIDIA will continue to make a move higher. Remember, we could gap up tomorrow to the point where NVIDIA could just open up here and keep moving up. But I do have a bullish bias on NVIDIA, and I would take it personally to 895 minimum. Take it to 895 minimum. So yeah, that's NVIDIA for me. Let's go Etsy. Oh, there's only a couple more. Perfect. At least from what I can see at this part of the chat. So I'll do both of these, AMD and Etsy. So here on Etsy, once again, we'll talk. Etsy delivered to the target, y'all. We was talking about price holding this area of bodies to taking us under these lows. I didn't even repeat that. But that's what I'm saying, y'all. Like, it did what we said it would do, but the delivery is nasty. Like, I wouldn't even want to trade that, bro. This is dirt, bro. I'm sick. This market is very annoying to trade. But I'm gonna clear all this and I'm gonna look at Etsy with fresh eyes. So let's just kind of do this together. So here on this monthly, once again, what we do is we say, all right, where is a monthly most likely targeting? And the way price is setting up, I mean, I see that we just currently use this bearish fair value gap to drive us lower so far. What we said about fair value gaps again, what needs to hold is the bodies of the wicks. It's the bodies, right? Okay, just checking, just making sure we know. So we got the bodies holding this area cool and it's pushing us down. I would target 61 right now, 61.60. Okay, so far the monthly to me makes me feel like we're gonna go lower because I do feel if we were bullish on this monthly time frame, right? If we were bullish on this monthly time frame, one, to be very honest, we would have never used this monthly fair value gap, the green one. Let me draw it. Actually, let me do this. So I see what I'm talking about. If we were truly bullish, we most likely would not have even used that. And sometimes we do, right? Sometimes we do. So if we did use it, we better use it, right? We're gonna actually have to use it to go higher. So when you see price just completely just forget about it and not use it at all, then that tells me that we're not ready to go up yet. And so I'm looking towards the next lows. And I think it will run under these lows, to be honest. But we just take safe targets. And that's why I said, what we target again, we target the lowest body at swing point. So let's target the lowest body here in the monthly. So my monthly tells us I'm going to go lower. Does the weekly support that notion? All right. The weekly came back up into a premium and rejected what? This bearish fair value gap here on the weekly. Cool, nice. Now we coming down. It's not a fun delivery. I don't like this delivery at all, but it's directionally moving where we expect it to move to. And once again, I think if we were really bullish on this time frame, look at this bullish inefficiency here. See how price held that to the tick too, right? It's a nice delivery, pushed up, but guess what it rejected? The bearish one, and that sent us, and we actually just closed below this bullish fair value gap. So now my eyes is just simply going to these lows again. So how do we get there? I don't see anything that I like for rejections in this area on the weekly time frame. So what I'm gonna do is go to the time frame below that and see if I see something I like. So here on this daily, man, daily not too pretty either. Remember, yellow line is a target. How do we get there? And hopefully you guys are seeing my process now and seeing how I get targets and why that price will always trade in the direction of a higher time frame. So I'm going to the monthly and I'm basing my trades in the direction of the monthly draw. Where is the monthly trying to get to? My trades are based on that. So sometimes it's not always clear, by the way, but a lot of times you can get a draw from the monthly. If not, then get it from the weekly. And if not, then get it from the daily. If you can't get it from the daily, get it from the 4 hour. You see what I'm saying? But either way, you need to have a higher time frame basis on direction. So for me, if the monthly is trying to take to the yellow, you just have to ask yourself, okay, how do you get there? We checked the weekly. We said, I don't like nothing on the weekly. I don't see no bearish fair value gap. I don't see no bearish order block. I don't see no bearish, other things that we use to take rejections on. So does the daily have this for me? That's why I'm on the daily right now. And I try to repeat myself because I know some people miss it, but I'm trying to make sure y'all get the gems, right? I'm trying to make sure y'all get like the actual learning. I don't want to just be like oh, what's Rel looking at or what? Like, nah, get the process. Get the process behind what I'm doing. So here we are. For the daily, I want price to hold this wick, especially the lower half of this wick. Definitely hold the low. If we come to the upper half of this wick, then we're gonna end up making a little bit of a push. And I would start looking into this daily fair value gap up here. But I don't think it'll go that high, to be honest. I think it'll hold this wick and then reject. So we want to hold the lower half of this wick and cause a rejection, especially because, once again, if you see, it's not easy for you to see because it's not the traditional looking fair value gap, but really this area is holding right now. So if we range in here, that's cool, but this range got to kind of stay in this area to take us down there. But let's see if the 4 hour can kind of confirm that a bit. So yeah, once again, immediately, I would love if price could just gap down. That'd be fire. We could just literally, price could dump. That would be perfect. But ultimately, I think as long as price is holding this purple area, then we should see a move to the yellow. We see a move to the yellow, and the hourly. See the hourly, yeah. So the hourly use this bearish value gap right here to move lower, and then we stayed in a range. So once again, what I'm expecting is pretty much bearishness early on Etsy. I would want bearishness early, and we should be able to take out these lows. When we take out these lows, it should be a nice little dump under there, in my opinion. I think if we can take out these lows, I don't think it'll. This is what I want to see, right? I'm not going to say that this market hasn't been favorable, right? But this is what I would typically want to see in a bearish delivery. We should deliver pretty hard under there. It should be a nice little sell under there. I wouldn't expect too much of, I wouldn't expect this, y'all, right? I wouldn't expect this. I don't want to see this. This ain't what you want to see. That's not it, bro. And when you start seeing stuff like that, the move might not be ready. What you could see if that happens is it could stagger into these lows, and then they'll consolidate, and then you'll start seeing a push back up. So that's not it. We don't want to see this type of delivery. It needs to be quick. It needs to be nice and aggressive. That's Etsy, and then y'all said AMD. AM man. Let's see what it's hitting for. So yeah, we've obviously, like I said before, we've been catching AMD from the top. We brought it all the way down here. Then we broke even lower, perfect. So our initial profit target was in this area. We got here consolidated. Now we broke even lower on Thursday. Nice dump. Friday was an inside day candle. So what I'm expecting on AMD, if we're truly bearish on AMD, let me move this price alert. Target was definitely hit there. Target was definitely hit there. What I don't see in the AMD is I don't want to see us go too high into this daily fair value gap here. So I really actually don't want us to even touch it. But the way price is setting up, I wouldn't be surprised if it did come into it, but we need to hold this area. If we don't hold this area, AMD is going to end up coming back above these highs. So a lot of AMD for me right now depends on how we hold this daily bearish fair value gap right here, how we hold that. And so for this 4 hour, yeah, I wanted to just continue to reject, just like how it was on a 4 hour, just like how it is on the hourly. It got to reject. And when we reject, we don't want to see this bullish fair value gap right here. We don't want to see price respect this. I'm not saying it can't give you a little bounce, right? Like something slight, but it needs to really come under this. Really needs to come under that. I think if we could lose the upper portion of this hourly bullish fair value gap, then you'll see AMD make a move under these lows. All right, so a lot depends on that. And under those lows, really be trying to target. Yeah, under those lows, I really try to target, what is this, 162.50-ish, around there. So definitely all eyes on AMD with that. Yeah, yep. I agree. I'm just checking out the higher time frames to make sure. Yeah, like even with this monthly, when I look at the monthly right now, AMD, if I'm asking myself where the monthly trying to get to, I would tell myself, yeah, the monthly's trying to get to this bullish fair value gap right here. So I'm gonna move that for a second, just so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I would think the monthly's trying to get to this bullish fair value gap, which starts at about 162. You know, I think that's what the monthly trying to get to at AMD. It got to a target, which is this VI. It did get there, but I think it's still trying to make a move lower into that 162. So if it's gonna deliver there, how would it deliver there? Once again, pretty much right where it's rejecting that. I would want to see it continue to come to the downside. I don't want to see it move back higher. And if it do go higher, it needs to literally sweep those highs. So you see these highs right here, it would have to really just sweep it and come on down. Like, it gotta, don't go too far ahead, just sweep it and then start looking for bearish signs to the downside. If you start seeing them bearish signs to the downside, I think we make that move we want. So for bearish delivery, sweep these highs or simply just dump, like just gap down on Monday, just like that. That's what I want to see for AMD on downside. I mean, a bullish plan right now for AMD real quick while we on it. Oh yeah, I already said that. Yeah, if we don't use this, then I would target them highs. Or if we don't use this one right here, I'm targeting them highs at 180, 883. So money should be made regardless on AMD. Yeah, I plan for both. And you're welcome, Ms. Monique. That's the okay thing. I seen more tickets coming in here. Okay. So here's what I'll do. I'll take two more. I'll take two more. Yeah, Spader, what's up? You can ask your question. So your hand is up. I don't know if you was trying to come off mute, but you still on mute if you don't know that. But I'll put my daily VI, whatever. I'll fix that later. So let's go to the next ticker. Let's go to the next ticker. We at SE. Spader, your hand is up, but if you talking, we can't hear you right now, bro. All right, so here's C Unlimited. I don't know what this was. This is some old stuff. What is this? I clearly have been on this ticker before. I don't know what I was doing there though. many moons ago. So let's see this. I don't even know what this is. C Unlimited. I'm not familiar with them, but let's check it out. Let's check it out. So here on this monthly time frame, what I think the monthly is targeting, I think the monthly is targeting higher. I see a higher target on the monthly. I think that if they were bearish for real, this initial rejection on the monthly would have taken us way under these lows. You see what we did? What do we do once we hit this fair value gap? Look, my fault. I zoomed in mad hard. Let me show you what I'm talking about, because I know everybody on different levels. I'll be talking a little fast sometimes. Apologies. So we had a fair value gap here. Price rejected it. Came to these lows. Let's draw those lows. Boom. Look at that, right? Came just enough to stop these people out. Anybody who has stop losses under these lows came just enough to tag them out of their play. Now we pushing up. Guess what we did when we pushed up? We created a bullish fair value gap. Nice. Looks good, right? Looks good. Cool. And right now, the way this month is opening up, it seems that we may want to create another one. I don't expect price to revisit this one before coming into these highs here at 66.50. It's called 66.50 for real. So if I think that's where the monthly is trying to trade to. If it does come down first, it needs to let me not use certain terminology. If it comes down first, it needs to sensitively use this fair value gap, like just touch the tip of it and continue higher, which would be what? Price sweeping the lows of March. So let's draw those lows of March, and we're gonna go to a lower time frame and see what that look like. So this is the only type of delivery I want for bullishness, will be just a sweep of these lows to move higher, or simply just moving higher. So on a weekly chart, those is those lows. Boom. On the daily, that's down here. Yeah, so even the daily right now, I think it's just trying to hold this inefficiency to the left to push higher. Now, some of y'all don't see inefficiency, and that's, stuff past what we doing here today. I'm not, that's a whole lesson in itself, but there is an inefficiency that price is holding right here that could send us back to the upside. And also something I look at is the type of delivery that's happening. This delivery, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also not clean. Like, y'all should know, man. Y'all should know. I got you, Bell, with your question, by the way. Y'all should know, like, when price is really trying to get somewhere, bruh, it goes. It don't chop. It don't let people be a part of the move. That thing go where it's supposed to go. Like, even if you look at this move up, when price was bullish, it just went. When price is bearish now, this ain't the real direction, in my opinion. It's consolidation, and I think you could wait for price to move more cleanly before getting involved, but this ain't it, man. This ain't it, my people. This is not it. Like look at this. So Personally, I am bullish on it, and I think it should come to that 66 area. It's just about how it could get there. So, do I say trade inside of a range? No. Here's what I would want to see. Because I have a bullish draw, this is so important. Oh my gosh, the higher time frame told me to target higher, right? I got to think about the type of delivery I want to see into that higher target. So when we're bullish, if you're in a range like this and you're bullish on something, don't trade inside the range. That's why I keep saying, I know NASDAQ, y'all want me to kind of give an analysis on NASDAQ ES. I'm telling people to be careful swing trading because we're in a range and it's not good to trade inside the range, especially not intermediate term. Run a 4-hour or daily range on NASDAQ/S&P 500. Please day trade that. Don't swing trade that. It's not favorable. You'll have plenty of entries because guess what? When it picks a direction, up or down, it's gonna stay there for a while. It's gonna stay there for a while. When it picks a direction up or down, so people, you know what I'm saying? Don't FOMO in. Don't trade this out of range. So back to SE here, and it's not about SE. This is about the logic behind how we really come to our targets and all that, right? Or our delivery. We're looking at something that's in a range. Don't get involved in here, in my opinion. I think you draw the highs and lows of the range and you say, okay, if I'm bullish, how am I bullish? The monthly told me to be bullish. Bet. So now that I'm looking at a lower time frame, bullish delivery will look like this. We're either gonna go, pull back, boom, your entry, take that to the high side to get to the yellow. That's one scenario. If you're bullish, what else happens? Well, because people who are early to the bullish move have stop losses under these lows, they will want to sweep this out first, take these people out of their play, FOMO in people who have sell limit orders, meaning people who will take puts on a breakout. So we FOMOing them in right now, and then they'll stop them out. So they get what they want on both sides. Not only did we stop out people who took puts on the breakout, we stopped them out once we reversed, but we also are stopping out people who had calls or buys because they're like, all right, I'm in my buys as long as we hold this support level. So they'll kill that support level just to go the other way. And I know we all know that feeling, man. Like, you know, back when I used to trade support and resistance, I used to hate that my support level don't hold and then they still go my way. I'm like, really? Yeah, that's the type of delivery they do, especially when they engineer the liquidity. This is engineering of liquidity. So you have stop losses on both sides of this consolidation. So wait to see how they deliver bullishly. Now, when would I be convinced that it's a bearish move? I'll be convinced that it's a bearish move if price, and I don't think this will happen, but if it does do this, right? If price breaks down, has a bearish fair value gap that is either respected really sensitively or doesn't even get traded back to it all and just keeps dumping, then I'm like, I bet. And I would start looking at the higher time frame and saying, what are we targeting then? Dang, I thought the monthly was trying to target, you feel me, them highs right there. Dang, what is the monthly targeting? And I say, oh, okay, I guess the monthly is most likely targeting these lows at 36. So as long as I got mad room to 36 is where all the way down here, bro. Let's just call it down here or something, right? I got plenty of room to get involved. So this is what I mean by we will make money no matter what. It's just a matter of how will price deliver. You get involved based on its delivery. All right. So those are two ways that price can move bullishly, and let fair value guys be your guide. So I got a question in here that said, man, all right, literally the only two tickers I see. Oh no, I have BA. Okay, BA, Tesla, and DraftKings. I'm gonna try to do these mad quick because I just feel bad leaving these people open. So let me do this mad quick. But that's the last three: BA, Tesla, and DraftKings. So here on, let me go to the monthly on BA. It's like a drill. Chart something in 10 seconds. Like, based on the way BA is setting up, I would think BA is going to run these lows and come into this bullish fair value gap down in here on a monthly. So I got a bearish bias on BA currently. How could it get there? This inefficiency that it rejected, yeah, we like that. I think I would expect continuation this week, coming under this yellow line and even lower. So coming here on a daily, yeah, I'm expecting. There's nothing to reject on in here, so I'm gonna go to a lower time frame. But I already know I'm bearish. I just want to see what I want to hold Yeah, if price could not close over this on a 4 hour time frame, then I would take this even further to the downside. Let me see what that look like on the hourly though. Yeah, like literally prefer. I don't even want us to come up here, right? Preferably, we really don't want BA to come over here, because if we do, then it's gonna end up. If BA closes over this, it's gonna end up coming into. I mean, it can reject these wicks too. That's not bad, but I think the way that these wicks are set up, it'll run over them first. So yeah, it'll probably come into this 4 hour fair value gap if it closes over this 1 hour fair value gap. So as long as we can hold this, I definitely expect a move much lower to our yellow or purple target rather below. So I want to hold this and start an aggressive move. But no matter what, yeah, I am personally bearish on BA in the intermediate term. And I just hope you get the process. That's how I'm trying to teach the process through the other tickers. So y'all see what I'm doing. I'm just going to the monthly / weekly, getting my direction, and then saying, okay, if price is going to get there, how should it deliver there? What would it want to use to remain bearish? And then when you identify those areas, like I said here on the 4 hour, like, all right, if it's going to remain bearish, it needs to hold this. If it doesn't hold this, guess what? You're probably not bearish. Then you're gonna say, all right, well, I was wrong in my direction. Where is price actually targeting? You could come back to the higher time frame and say, all right, what? So we ain't hold that. So that means price is most likely gonna trade up into this VI or into these highs or something like that. And then guess what? You do the same thing. Oh, the draw is higher, guys. We're going higher. We going higher back. What should we use? Well, BA had just closed with its purple and it left a bullish fair value gap. Oh, shoot, it's lit. That means we could go higher off of this bullish fair value gap. So I say the same thing. Use this to go to these highs. Right? You're going to make money regardless. You're going to make money regardless. So it's not about being right or wrong. It's about risk managing and trying out probable scenarios. That's it. That's all we doing here. So that's BA. Let's go to Tessie Test. Tessie Test been a tricky one for a lot of people. This area has still been holding. I don't know if y'all remember many watches ago, I was saying that be careful of Tesla holding this weekly RB here and getting a bounce out of it. We got a bounce. It's ugly. Came back down, bounced again. Still couldn't really hold these lows, but we did get there though. Did we run under these lows? I'm curious. These are like completely equal lows. Let's see, 160.51, 160.51. Wow, that's crazy. Completely equal lows right here on Tesla. I currently, let me see the monthly one more time. Yeah, I think I'm bearish on Tesla. I'm bearish on Tesla. You know why, y'all? Because to me, if Tesla was going to be bearish, man, I think that the bounce that we initially got out of here on the weekly RB would have sent us, but like this should have been the one. But then what did Tesla do? It rejected a highly probable bearish fair value gap. So all I gotta do is pay attention to what price is telling me. Price whispers sweet nothings in your ear. Price is a beautiful thing. It whispers sweet nothings in your ear. So if you was thinking Tesla might be bullish based on this bullish red area, you gotta bounce. Congrats. What happened? We super sensitively, look how sensitively we reacted to this bearish fair value gap. We super sensitively touched that area and came right back down, all the way back down into this supposed to be a bullish bouncing area. So that tells me, yo, price is still heavy and it's probably not gonna, this red area won't hold much longer. So based on me now having a bearish bias on Tesla, I'm just gonna look for things that I expect to hold on Tesla, which is just, this is not favorable right now, but let me just try to see if I can find something for us. I will watch, you could just really look at these wicks for real. That's not really what I'm targeting. It's not really necessarily the wicks itself, but to make it easy, I will watch these hourly wicks. If price could hold under these hourly wicks, then I would expect price to literally lose these lows, wherever they at, man. Let me go to daily for a second. Yeah, these daily lows here to the left, right? So as long as we can hold that wick area, my next target on Tesla is holding these daily lows. And if we come on these daily lows, I expect it to fill this daily gap. The daily gap is filled at 146. So that's what I see happening on Tesla. But That doesn't mean I'm like super tied to it, super convinced. Like, yo, if you can see what price is doing, we're in a range, right? What we talk about with ranges, don't be trying to take swing trades. Don't. It's not the clearest setup. That's just what I see is the most likely thing, but it's nothing. It's nothing that I will put my money on personally. Um. So we said Tesla. You said that on DraftKings was the last one, and then I answered the other little questions I see in there. And forgive me if I missed anything. I'm like low key looking real quick and all that. So here, I remember DraftKings. I remember I was charting this with some others, man. We talked about DraftKings coming into these monthly highs. Like, how could DraftKings come in those monthly highs, right? So remember, monthly I came through and got this draw. Then on the weekly, I said, oh well, if it's gonna get to those monthly highs over there, what would it use? It would use this weekly bullish fair value gap. So now y'all seen an example of something that played out based on the strategy I'm telling y'all. And okay, what do? We held it. Time distortion. Remember, I said it's like when you hold any like when you hold a tool like a order block or any efficiency, whatever you use to get in plays on, you holding it and we staying right there. Held it, but then ultimately we delivered to the target already. So it used this, pushed up, and while it pushed up, it low-key created another one that we're currently reacting to right now. So I want to see some continuation to the upside because I'm gonna delete that because it looks a little noisy, but let me delete this. I want to see some continuation to the upside because looking at this monthly time frame, there's nothing that tells me DraftKings should reject. Like, I don't consider this an order block, by the way. I would not validate this as an order block. Please don't look at this green and think it's an order block. Does that mean that DraftKings can't react to it? No. You can see DraftKings make a move down, but most likely, based on the fact that price is going to end up coming into 59 and change, it would reject initially to do what? Tap into something that is probable, like this green wick down here is probable to hold price for price to eventually make the move back up here. So you thinking you getting a bearish play, at least from a monthly perspective. Meanwhile, it's just giving you a little reaction. But you ain't about to run no lows for real. You know what I'm saying? You ain't about to do nothing crazy. So yeah, that's how that worked. And so I wouldn't know. I would not validate this as a bearish order block. I think DraftKings is bullish, and we're just gonna keep looking for bullish things on higher time frames to take plays off of. That's why we caught that. And then I literally caught this play. It was like 100% play or whatever it was, because I took it from these lows to this RB. Thank God I got out here. I talked about this on some Watchlist ago. Thank God I got out of this one because we started trading down. We chopped. I was like, good thing I took profits and that RB, but then now we finally pushed through, and we're still currently trying to push through. And I do believe that DraftKings will continue to the upside personally. So I guess what I want to see. How do we get there? How do we get there? How do we get there? Let me this area on a daily. Let me see what it looks like on a 4. Facts. I want continuation early on DraftKings. Continuation early. You don't want to see an hourly closure under this. If it hourly closure under this, then we will once again watch the purple area. But if we lose the purple area, then I think DraftKings will make a decent move to the downside. But I'll watch this hourly inefficiency. And you have this on replay anyways if you forget what I said. Everything on replay. But I'll watch this hourly inefficiency right here to move us higher. But what do I think will happen? So I just feel like we're actually just going to push higher immediately. I don't even think you might not get that retracement. You might just see DraftKings open up above this or something like that. But we'll see. So Jay said price whisper sweet nothing's in my ear. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shit, let's say because my mentees called it at 150 weeks. Shit. Yeah, shout out to mentees. Y'all be sniping for real. Definitely be sniping. So Bell Honeybee said, I thought fair value gaps are usually the middle candle of an aggressive move of 3 candles. Yeah, I got you. I'll bring a fair value gap for you right now for real. So let's look at this one here. And because you're right, for real. It's like you need 3 candles. I know a lot of people know this already, but a lot of people don't. And you guys hear me talk about fair value gaps so often. And I gotta remember that some people are just getting introduced to me today. And so I gotta say, like, yo, fair value gaps, they're all over the chart. Like I see one right here, I see one right there. There's one right there, right there, right there. They're literally all over the chart, y'all. And guess what? Most fair value gaps are irrelevant. And so you guys see me talk about fair value gaps and probably think like, oh man, I'm about to start trading that. And you're gonna look up, how to, you're gonna look up different things about fair values and stuff. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. And here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. Here's what you can do on YouTube. You could cherry pick examples. You could say, you know what? Let me find an example of price related to a fair value gap, and then try to make it, just make a video about it and say, yo, guys, see, fair value gaps work. But then in real life, there's so many fair value gaps that do not work. And if you know what I'm talking about in the chat, y'all could put 100 emoji just to say that you tried fair value gaps and they have not worked multiple times. Because I might put 100 emojis in the chat. I'm gonna put 100 emojis in the chat right now. There's so many value guys that I was trying when I was coming up that did not work in price action. Real talk. And it's like, bro, what the heck? How am I supposed to know which one is good or which one's not? Because they're everywhere. Look, even in this example, there's one on top and there's one on bottom. So which one is freaking relevant to price action for real? Well, contextually, guys, in this scenario, this one is. I would not look for the top one. So if we traded past this one, I would become bullish on the ticker. I wouldn't look for the top one. So there's like a lot of information on these fair value gaps that you're gonna want to learn, and obviously that's what I teach in the mentorship and stuff. And I may do a masterclass for fair value gaps soon. But for now, I'm just saying I have to give the disclaimer because I say the phrase fair value gap 1,000 times in class, and I know it's gonna cause people to look it up and stuff, but there's so much nuance that you will not find online. You'll see people give a lot of misinformation. It's frustrating for me to watch, and just because they have a lot of followers doesn't mean that they're teaching it the right way. So I just trust me when I say this. My mentees could attest to this. 1,000% mentees could attest to this. They know what I'm talking about. Like we learn the real details on fair value that you don't really see online. But in this case, yeah, we would want to see that type of rejection. So now looking at this one, right? How do you draw a fair value gap really? So what you're saying is you want to look at what's fairness in the market. What is fairness in the market? In the market, you want to see buyers and sellers getting a fair chance at price action. And so when you kind of identify what a wick is in its essence, a wick shows that this used to be a red candle, and then buyers took it back up and turned it green. So in this wick right here, guess what? It's fair. I know you see a red body, but it's okay because buyers had a chance in that price action already. So this is a fair area. Cool. Nice, nice, nice. Now let's look at, remember, you're going to need 3 candles to make a fair value gap. So you just need 3 candles. I got one on top, second one, third one. Now look at the third one right quick. Let's look at the third one right quick. Now, for this third one, what is this wick? You see buyers and sellers had a piece of this price action. This used to be a green candle, right? That's why you have a wick here. It used to be a green candle. Sellers took it back, turned it red actually, and it closed red. But at a point it was green. Why? Because there was buyers involved on that piece of price action. So you have buyers and sellers there. But where were there only one? There was only sellers in this body area. So that's why this body right here is our fair value gap, because that's the gap of fairness. It's the place in price action that was not fair. It's this red area right here. And so what we're doing is we're identifying those areas in the market on different time frames, and we're trading off of them or getting sentiment off of them, and a whole bunch of other usages that I wouldn't even get into on the Zoom right here. So that's all it is. And yes, it is indeed the middle candle. Like you said, it takes 3 candles to make it. It's a middle candle. We're just identifying gaps in fairness, because a big objective in the market is to bring fairness to the marketplace. You want to make sure buyers and sellers getting a piece of everything. So in this area, this red body, guess what? Only sellers. It was only sellers. So price could bring some buyers to the area real quick. That's price tapping into it. So you had to go bullish to tap into it, right? We went bullish to tap into it. So buyers came to the area bet. Now we could reject. We brought some fairness to this area. Now we could reject. Sometimes you wanted to reject on the low end. Sometimes you wanted to actually come to the high end. Sometimes you wanted to reject right in the middle. It depends on what we're talking about. That nuance, once again, is what I get in detail to. And you don't really see those things on YouTube. Trust me. Guess what? Guess who's looked? Guess who's looked more than anybody? Probably me. Right? So I know what I'm talking about. Believe me. I don't want y'all to get tricked, because I don't like hearing people try these things and losing money. It really pains my heart. I really mean that. So I that's why I give the disclaimer so hard, because I don't want y'all just trying stuff and it's dangerous waters. I lost a lot of money, y'all. I lost thousands of dollars trying to learn that stuff, bro. So just be careful, but yeah, yo. So that's that fair value gap thing. Hopefully that helped. And like internet said, there's levels to this. Y'all internet know. All my mentees in here know, they all in the chat right now, throwing hundreds and all of that. So shout out y'all. Cool. Yeah, so I mean, as far as the recording goes, I'm gonna end that real quick. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, subscribe to the channel. Check the description box if you want to join the free community. We in here every week, we in here every day, putting that work in. So that's all she wrote.